and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power. Salute. Salute to the women comrades of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. What's good? Yeah, I know it's a little late. It's been a very long, tumultuous week for me. But there's some things that I wanted to speak on in Women's Up. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I want to get it off now. And as you see, I got my little turmeric shot. I'm going to do what I do and make an attempt to have a very good session tonight. Cash App, my women moderators, get the Cash App up, and please be very, very, very mindful of the questions. Make sure they dropping it. Make sure they dropping it. All right? Don't overload me and misuse me. You dig? We all use each other, but I ain't gonna be misused. You dig? Salute, salute. Yvette. Did it touch down yet, Yvette? If not today, it should touch down tomorrow. Let me know. Peace, peace, Tiger. T. Tierra. What up, T? You up, huh? That's what's up. I was hoping you was up. You're still up. You know? Angel, salute. You know what it is. Kai Stone. What up, Kai? What's going on? So again, it's Woman Up. And again, I'm going to have to ask my moderators. We have to set a specific time. We have to select a specific time for Women Up, so when they know it's that time, they in the building. When they know it's that time, they in the building, and they coming questions, they coming with enthusiasm, they coming with an ear. All right? So we have to work on that. Make sure y'all get it in. Let me know. Give me some suggestions when is a good time for women. All right? Hey, Daniel, what's up? Rocksteady, what's good? But before we begin Women Up, a lot of things took place. A lot of things took place this week. And specifically two women, and specifically right here in New York. And I want to give my condolences to those families. May they find the strength to heal through the horrific events that took place with women this week in New York City. All right? I don't want to, and I really do, unless they're, people are celebrities or happen to run in the mainstream where their name is out there. I'm not one to capitalize off of people misfortunes. So, I won't, but the situations were very real. And it definitely, caused me to double down and really affirm, my stance on making sure women are placed back in their throne. That is an absolute must. Some may not believe in that philosophy. Some may, be totally against that. But as an absolute scientific fact, that ever since we have stopped acknowledging our women as our natural partner, our women as our queen, our women, right, as our comrades, ever since we stopped doing that, we've been out of order. We've been out of order. So until somebody can prove me different, that's just what I have to go on. And my mission is to make sure that they get back to that very, very important space. So, not too far from me. Matter of fact, maybe about 10, 15 minutes away, a young woman made an attempt to take her own life after an argument with what they're believing is her child's father. This was done right in the space in the park attached to a middle school, quite close to dismissal time. She tried to blow her own, cabbage off while, she was holding her youngest child. And I don't know what kind of situation they were going through internally, whether it was some type of domestic violence situation, or maybe she was just that troubled and aggravated, stressed, but that's what she made the choice to do. And that's becoming more and more frequent, that's becoming more and more frequent. And again, this is warming up, but Hennessy, I want to ask that because I didn't get a follow-up. Did she pass away? Did she pass away? Because I know she was in critical condition, and the hospital they took her to was way out of bounds. Like, I'm not even understanding why she didn't go right to KCH. Why they brought her all the way to the east, I have, unless KCH was filled. But I didn't get a follow-up on if she was deceased or not. Okay, good looking out. Thank you for that info. So she, she did knock herself off. We also had a 60-year-old woman that was killed in a shooting, in Park Hill, right? Home of the Wu-Tang Clan, right? In the building that, you see in several of their videos, not 160, not 160, but 260. So, again, 61, I was the elder. The 36-year-old one was the one who took herself out. And just today, early today in East New York, a young woman was, dismembered body was found on a block that I was just on yesterday, day before yesterday, visiting a public school, and there's questions surrounding that as well. All these crimes against women, our women specifically, is very, very, very tough. Very, very tough, for me to speak on and to try to make sense of, I mean, of course, as a practitioner, I can go through, right, the book sense of what happened, but when this is continuously happening at an alarming pace, it takes a toll on you. I also read about young young woman, black woman, who in Memphis last year sometime was assaulted, blindfolded, and raped, and they pushed it to the side. Um, as far as investigation and things of that nature, come to find out that this individual is who's being charged for raping and killing a billionaire's granddaughter, and now, you know, it's viral, it's national news. But when it was the sister, you know, no fanfare, no push, not even, you know, nothing, as far as them, being extra engaged on looking for her assailant and bringing them to justice. Um, and the way I'm at with it, our women need to be, have to be, should most definitely be working towards keeping themselves armed. I always say it, armed. I don't care how. I don't care whether it's a firearm. I don't care if it's something sharp. I don't care if it's something you spray. But our women need to be armed. And the first place they need to be armed and ready and locked and loaded is up here. That is the main reason why I began this particular space on my YouTube, right? Is women up. Once you arm their mental, they will be able to navigate, right? To function more sufficiently in the face of all this danger, where they will be able to rely on themselves. You dig? So that's the main catalyst, and these things go on and on, and they're going to continue to go on. But women must arm themselves. Have to. And again, arming yourself right here is initially right here. Initially is where the defense mechanisms, right, kick in. Right here. You got to arm that. So, and we arm it by what? We arm it by dispelling fake or false narratives or dated narratives, right? Getting new information, questioning our inherited beliefs about who women are and what they are actually doing moving further, right? That's where we begin. So if you missed any of the previous Woman Up, please replay, go back, share it, dialogue about it, and come every time you see it. And as my moderators coming through and coming in, we'll set a specific date and time for them to always come through. Hey, Coco. Hold on, man. Something is wrong right here. Come on now. That's crazy. So, again, it's been a long, tumultuous week. I wanted to get it in. I wanted to definitely answer questions that may be on the table. Because if I seen these specific things, I'm sure you saw these things as well. Okay, now, of course, you saw the first name right, on this particular vid. And we can't escape it, though we can, but I choose not to. Um, but I want to kind of dispel a narrative. So Nia, as in Nia Long, right? Uh, there has been some infidelity in the space. Um, Now, I've spoke previously, and if I ever had sessions with anybody that's in this chat, they kind of know my stance when it comes to how we relate in relations and our expectations of relations based on the beliefs we inherited, things we have witnessed, right, and our own experiences with it. Now, for whatever reason, we know about this infidelity. It escapes me. It really does. That is really, in the mix of everything, not important in the grand scope of what we all are going through, right? We still in the mix of this pandemic. People who have children, this is like the second week of school, so people are still getting their footing, making adjustments. Economy still crazy, you know, violence everywhere. We talking about people in the UN making decisions on our lives without our input. A whole bunch of stuff is going on. And yet, this is thrust into, I'm sure, only our media feeds. If some of you have, Euros in your family or close friends, I always wonder, do we see the same commercials and stuff like that? Like in the homes, like if I'm here and I'm watching Fox and I'm watching Martin, if somebody is in the Hamptons in Suffolk County watching Martin, do we see the same commercials at the same time? Right? When I'm seeing a Hennessy commercial, are they actually getting a Charles Schwab commercial? That's just something I want to know. But I definitely know on social media we don't. We definitely don't. I've witnessed that we don't get the same things pushed in the feed because different shit go viral. I know for a fact that because I follow specific Euros and their feeds is totally different. And they don't know nothing about none of us. Don't know who the hell Doggy Dom is, don't know Bliz, don't know none of that. So I know there's a difference when it comes to that. So anyway, we find out that her NBA basketball coach, husband, crept out to whatever whatever he did. I put it like that because there's no allegation. They saying that this is actual factual, that this happened, right? So that means there are details that, or audio or visuals, has to be because the NBA took action, severe action, I might add. This man has been suspended for the year, the entire NBA season. What business is it of the NBA beats the out of me. Right? When Billy Jeff was getting domed in the Oval Office, he was still rocking and rolling. But for whatever, they got him up out of there. He up out of the whip. So it's not an allegation. This happened. And there are people who know that this took place. Now, to what degree, I don't know. Whether they was in the locker room, whether it was in the front office or somewhere, whether they got caught in the garage, whatever they was doing, it was going down. It was going down. Now, there's a presumption. Yeah, you got a year, Vat. Yeah, you got a year. There was a presumption that because of who she is, how she presents herself, and what she looked like, that has everybody taken aback. And I explained this to y'all before. I'm going to always explain it to y'all, right? And people are shocked. Oh, God. Oh, how could he? How dare he? Now, this is Woman Up. I'm going to always be frank. Yeah, probably, but this is Woman Up. Save that for when we get together, comrade. It could be retribution for that. It could be throwing a cloud and a shade over what the quarterback dude is doing in Mississippi. Could be all that. But that fact remains, he was suspended, and he was suspended not for what he did with his players. You dig what I'm saying? But for what he did personally, maybe because, again, it was in the stadium or at the place of business. Could have been any of that, but we know his ass is up out of there. Again, I deal with the women who is going viral, who's pushing it, who's asking these questions, who's saying these things, right? Because remember, they don't have what people would consider the conventional story. They have what is now become kind of average, where you have different things going on, mixed families, different lifestyle. You dig? So this is what many women are going through, right? 2 different careers, one highly visible and well known, one not so much, and again, the people are assuming because of who she is and what she looks like that this can't happen. And now we go back to what I said last night. Damn, was it last? Yeah, last night when I was on with the comrade, where I said again that it has little to do, until it's very extreme, and we'll get into the extremities of it, little to do with the care and love. You dig? And more to do with how men operate. How men operate. Yes, because she worked for the organization. You're right, Kelly. And again, because she worked for the organization, we can assume that they might have been, knucking and bucking up in the spotty spot. And they just didn't, hey, could have been all that. But, anyway. And men, you can get your boxes in a bunch, but Woman Up, I don't hold nothing back. So women need to understand this because you spend a lot of time on appearance. You spend a lot of time in a specific mindset because you've been conditioned to think so. You've been conditioned to believe in a certain way that people are going to treat you how your family told you you were going to be treated, which is, oh yeah, girl, you fine, you pretty. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, girl, you got it going on. Any man will be more than lucky to have you. And so you believe that about yourself. And you should. Everybody should be confident, right? Everyone should feel that. Women and men. But not everyone is going to believe that, right? Not everyone is going to believe that about you or about me. Very humble. Life humbled me. Again, I came up in an age when dark brown skinned men were not looked at. They didn't give us the time of day. We were not in style. We ain't look like Smokey or any of them, Smokey Robinson and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. You ain't look like none of that. Billy D, you forgot. Nah, they wasn't checking for us. I already told you that until New Edition came through, man. I'm telling you, that shit was a boost to my self-esteem. I'm a little black dude to do it like that. Shit. Bobby Brown was the shit for me. I was like, yo, I'm telling you, we were not clapped for. We were not handsome dude. We was not looked at. So I always was in a humble space as far as that is concerned. Right? So now, with women, with little girls, the conditioning is very different. And it's always from that perspective. It's very rare that a little girl isn't told that by somebody. They're always encouraged. All their looks are always mentioned, you know? So, and it's very traumatic if it doesn't happen. In rare cases where it doesn't happen, it's very traumatic, and they have to build that esteem up from somewhere. And it based on how they cope with the trauma or have some type of security within themselves moving forward, it can resonate with them for the rest of their life. So we're talking about her because from the very moment that any of us knew her or knew what she was already arguably in the top 5 as far as appearances is concerned. Always. That's not even a debatable point. From a young actress all the way through to a mature woman right now, that is hands down always been one of the most beautiful women on the planet. Period. You dig? Ain't nowhere you can take any points off of nothing, head to toe. So it seems shocking that this information came through and that it happened. However, when you have somebody, such as myself, who can tell you and speak to it and not afraid to let you know how men operate. So you can kind of, right, temper down the back and forth on social media, right? The triggers, you know, the trauma bonding that comes with that. Excuse me. Now, when you come to the understanding that men are just nasty, ain't no nothing else with it. Men are nasty. And I don't mean dirty, nasty. I mean just, when it comes to their sexuality, you know, if they're not taught, and most of the time they're not, the majority of the time they're not taught discipline with how, where, and when, and who they're engaging in the acting, most women gonna have an uphill battle with it. Gonna have an uphill battle with it. I told y'all before, men will hump a couch. Straight up. Couch, Fifi dolls, all type of weird shit. That's what they do. Come on, they got a actual sex doll industry where these dolls is so lifelike, 15, 20,000. People buying them shits. They buy it. One man somewhere tried to marry this shit. That's how they operate. That's how they operate. If they're not taught discipline, right? Why the hell do you think they say dogs? Dogs. And again, because they haven't been taught discipline, doesn't mean that they're bad individuals. Doesn't mean that they don't care about you. Doesn't mean that they don't love you. Don't mean that. Without discipline and giving space and opportunity, it's going down, which is why it's more prevalent in those who have position, money, resource. That's what it is. You understand? That's just what it is. Now, when we're hearing this again, we're looking at her and making high inference assumptions. We don't know what goes on in their bedroom. You don't have a clue at all. Women don't have a clue of what happens when they go in the room, lights off, and they get in that bed. Don't know. And men don't know either, because men make the same assumption. They say, damn, Nia Long, she must be bad. I wouldn't go nowhere. We don't know. Same situation with Halle Berry. Same situation with a lot of women who we have been conditioned to believe are so beautiful. Not only are they beautiful, but they have their own resource. They are valued in their industries. But again, we don't know these people. We don't. So I want to keep it amongst people we know, which is you and I. So again, in saying this about her, let's not make any generalizations. Let's not make any assumptions. Let's just deal with it as it is. Someone who are married and now have this to conquer. All right? So let's get it. Drop those cash apps and drop those questions. Let's get it. Because I'm getting tired and I don't know if this turmeric garlic shit gonna hold me up. All right? And everybody who's in the building, everybody who joined us, salute to y'all. Let's get it. Where's yours, Kelly? Where's yours? Where's yours? Where's yours? You got a question? Where's it at? Where's it at? So let me ask, why do you think he risked his whole career for this? That's your question, Kelly? Why do you think he risked his whole career? Because, for one, his career should have never been in question. His career shouldn't have been in question, and I will have to, we all, if should we really want to, will have to research on his contractual obligation as far as who he is in terms of that organization. Now, I'll tell you this, by them doing this so swiftly, right, it appears to me as a lynching, right, as a whipping, as a space of saying, how dare you, nickel? That this is something we gifted you and we can take it away. Because just as recently as this summer, I've been seeing exposés of them. I've been seeing interviews with her talking about the union on all type of news programs, CBS Morning News, CBS Sunday News, ABC, and definitely last year during the playoffs, there was focus and highlight on black love. And that's what they were speaking on when it came to them. The love, the respect, right? How they juggling her not being there in certain careers and things like that. You understand? So, I don't know as far as the conduct that he signed an agreement to, right? We learn as these, not only coaches, but athletes and people that are in these different institutions in the sports world, sign away a lot of personal things, right? I remember hearing about Jason Williams from Duke and went to the Bulls saying that he wouldn't ride a motorcycle because they knew he rode bikes and during the season and it's dangerous and he signed and what happened? He got a motorcycle accident and was unable to play, so they really didn't have to pay him, but they continued and he was able to transition into being one of the greatest, sports anchors that we have. But they sign a lot of things, and to me, again, that's not owning your labor when you're doing that. So I don't think that he thought getting some box or where that even comes into question, because whatever he desired, whatever he was going through, right, within himself was definitely more important, right, than anything. I mean, he's married. Well, he's not thinking and focusing on losing the wife. Why would he focus on, why would that be a focus, losing a gig? I mean, he just ran, you know what I'm saying, in the finals. I mean, he was sure that his job was secure. You understand? Yeah, but you're not thinking about that. That's not a thought when a man is in lust, when a man is in that at that stage. thinking about that. And I mean, obviously it was sloppy because people found out, but nah, that's not a thought. That's not a thought at all. The thought is I'm getting ready to knock this down, I'm gonna water this earth, you know what I'm saying? I'm going, exhale, breathe easy, and then I'm going back to do what I do. He ain't thinking that his job was in jeopardy. Come on, I think correction officers put their ass on the gate. They ain't thinking that they're gonna lose their job and or be charged and go to jail. And some do. That's right there in their head. Now, yeah, I'm losing my job, but I'm gonna get this dude here who's been locked up some of this ass. You know, see, women do it all the time. Not thinking about getting caught. You thinking about busting that nut. So you're not thinking about that right there. You understand? Now, that ain't in the play when people have specific kink. And whatever the hell they was doing for each other, now they gotta say, was it worth it? But again, if that's all you've been doing, if that's how you've been conducting yourself from your introduction into being sexually active, right? You're going to continue that. You're going to continue that because there's nowhere to tell you any different unless you, again, are humbled for your actions. You face consequences for doing that. He might have been doing that shit since he was 18 years old. That's how men are. That's how people are, period. You're going to move based on how you've been moving. Again, I don't want people to make that assumption that he wasn't in love or wasn't loving his wife. Just a wrong assumption. You dig? All right? Next. And who put that in there? Rossing, 49, thank you for that. Let's go. Who's next? Drop that cash app. Let's go. Get these questions in because, again, like I told you, I'm trying to keep it up. I've been up 10 to 6 every day this week. And you know my average knockdown time is about 12:31. And last night I was on with the comrade till 1:30. You understand? So let's get it in. And again, this is a safe space. It's a safe space. Safe space. Understand that. Oh, and if Darrell Javon comes on, let him know that he saved another life today through his consistent contributions to the channel. I was able to really get at this sister who didn't even have no idea that I would contact her after she reached out. When she reached out was just completely, she was giving it up. She was like, yo, I'm done. I'm in so deep that and nobody's helping or hearing me. And she just happened to reach out on IG. And the way she wrote that DM, I was like, nah, I need to answer this quick. Answered it. And you know when somebody's replying and you got them little dots, I don't know what the hell she was writing. That shit was taking too long. I just had to call her on the video. Yo, what you writing? Because that shit, I can't wait no more. I got to hear what the hell you got to say. And she's like, well, I really don't have anything. I'm broke. I'm penniless right now. And I'm going through this situation. Okay. but I already know that I have minutes or hours, because that's how I counted minutes and hours in the stash, because of Darrell Javon, you know. So I was able to speak to a good 25 minutes, half hour, and give her a clear perspective. You know, that's just how we move. And she way out. Where the hell she was at? Like way out somewhere, Arkansas or some shit. Like, I mean, way out. But you know, and I'm definitely gonna do, follow up on her, check and see how she moves. That's how we have to do it. You know, it's definitely not all about consistent. You know, taking. No, 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 no. When we're able to function, we're able to function and get it done. All right. Let's go. Yeah, Kelly, I got no choice but to help. It's what I do. It's who I am. You know? And, when you're looking at it like that, when you looking at it and it looks real bleak, you just need somebody to give you some clarity. And always put first things first and last things last. That's it. Matter of importance. Once you structure yourself like that, you're able to think. What's the recommended donation to help someone who need a session but can't pay? Well, the sessions is $30 an hour. The assessments is $75. So, I always need an assessment so I can at least get the skeletal framework of what I'm dealing with and who I'm dealing with and how I may be able to assist them. So, my thing is, listen, whatever you can give. I done had people who said, well, I want to give somebody an entire 8-week anger management course. So they dropped a whole 8 weeks in an hour session. Boom, put it right in. I was like, okay. And I was able to give somebody that whole 8 weeks. So it just depends. Depends on on how serious you are with assisting someone. Because again, I work all day, every day. And again, I have several people that, they're on the phone with me. They're on social media while I'm actually out in the street doing my thing, or sitting in a space where I'm, I just got out of session, or got a session booked. And this is constant. This is constant for me because so many people need assistance. And it is so simple sometimes to just reach in there and shake somebody up. Just shake them up. Get them up out of that panic frenzy. And then, based on what they're telling me, I'm able to, okay, this, okay. It's however generous you feel like being. But again, women, let's go, women. It's 70, 71 in the building. Let's go. I know at least 40 of them are women. Don't be shy. Ask, and I will answer. No. Hey, Bernadette, what's up? Salute, salute. Glad you came to woman up with that little shot tonight. It must be, everybody else must be asleep or gone somewhere because honestly, no one knew. No one knew. All right? I know y'all just didn't come to look at me. I know that for a fact. There ain't nothing here to look at like that. Just want to sit here and look. Oh, I've seen y'all do that shit before. I've seen people just look at Charleston for an hour. I'm like, okay, he's not saying nothing. He's just looking at him. Nah, y'all can't do me like that because I'll go to sleep quick. I'll kick my head back and lay like this, right on this damn stool. What do you think can heal relations between men and women? I just did a couples session today, right? And their communication was so off. They weren't listening to each other at all, and they was expressing some very deep things. And the healing has to start with communication, with speaking, with learning each other. Most couples don't know each other. They get together based on, again, inherited beliefs. Oh, that's my type. That's the type of person I want to be with. Oh, and before you know it, my name is Junebug. I'm Cristal. And they bumping on each other's skin, don't know nothing about each other, and are in relations, right? In each other's water without having a ship. Don't know anything. And then it gets toxic, and then misunderstandings arise because you never knew each other. So now you would have to heal by each individual learning themselves and healing themselves before they can work as a unit. If you don't know your own weak spots, how do you think you can come up and be an asset to someone? Can't. Again, relations are a team. Relationships is teamwork. Any team you know, what do? They assess the player's past performances. They see if that player can play on this team level with this particular team. They find out everything about, okay, well, he can't dribble, but he can shoot. If it's football, well, he's real strong, but his movement is not there, so we got to put him on the line because he's big. You go through all that. But when it comes to relationships, people just have the assumption that men know this and women know that, or women know that and men know this. False narratives. Most people don't know shit about the other sex, about the other gender. They don't know shit. Because they don't have no examples. What they got? They don't view their mother in a girlfriend sexual manner. So they're not going to ask questions. They're not going to do that. They don't look at their pops in that frame. So the big, thick layers of what keep couples together is not spoke on until it's catastrophe and calamity and all that. You learning from bullshit. You're not getting that from before you even start. None. So it's no. You just got a player, no practice. And black love is like the goddamn NBA Finals, like the Super Bowl, like the World Series, because Everything is against you when it comes to black love, man, woman, in relationship. So you taking people who ain't even fucking play varsity high school sports and throwing their ass in the major league, championship level. Shit ain't gonna work. Not gonna work. Some people make it work, get lucky. The average don't. Because everything else is important, but the core of what you're gonna need to remain together. And then a lot of people equate sex with love. Shit ain't got nothing to do with it. Totally different mechanism. Got shit to do with it. They got y'all believing that shit. People want to believe all that weird shit, wild shit, tantric, this, that, chakras, our bodies and the thoughts have to go through a process before it can actually manifest into physical action. Thoughts can be separate from emotions. Excuse me, that's a proven fact. So if your thoughts is not in alignment with your emotions, you're able to go sleep with anything and anybody. Hoes do it all the time. There's no connection or none of that. But they got people believing he likes you, you like him, y'all sit together, y'all do this and that, you get married, y'all have kids, and boom, it's gravy. Everything is great. Nah, you got a lot going on. You got a lot up here that's going on. You got a lot in here that's going on. It's a lot. So it's a lie. It's a false narrative. Until we could get to a space where that shit may work, you have to know yourself. So a man can't communicate with you if he don't know himself. You want him to say shit, he can't say it. He don't know it, so he don't know what to say. All he know is, come home here, you need gas money, here go the rent. The fuck? But you want him to say, honey, how's your day? Hold on, let me rub your feet. Oh, word? What's going on? Oh, the kids, let me speak to you. That shit is not automatic. Those things that which many require have to be taught. Teach no man that shit. Who teach men how to do that? I'll wait. Who teach men how to do that? Who say this is a class on how to love women? You can learn that shit in Yale. You can learn it in Howard, in A&T. I'll wait. I want to know who took the course. So then you have some people who learn through trial and error. Then you gotta say, well, damn, who taught us all this bullshit that ain't working? Who taught us all this bullshit that ain't working, and why did they teach it like this? Then you have aha moments. I say, oh, that shit ain't right and exact, and if it is, it's not right and exact for me. I don't vibrate off that. So that's how men and women can heal. They have to learn how to speak honestly, truthfully, and in all transparency about what's going on with them. And they may need help. They may need counseling to help unearth certain shit. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying people don't do it. And we're in a bad space now because more people are using drugs, alcohol, stressed out, don't see a way out, and this shit gets deadly. Like you seem like we just seen, this dude lost his job for a year. And he might not even got no box in the last two. We don't know when that affair was going on. I mean, you would assume that shit happened yesterday. That he got caught in the locker room, butt naked. That's an assumption. He might not even been with her at the time. Right now, as of recent. You understand? So, that's just where it is. I'm telling you, y'all got a lot on y'all hands dealing with these men. I'm telling you. And I'm only saying it because this is women up, so men don't get all in your feelings and all that shit. Because when I do speak to the men, y'all sometimes more quiet than the women. Y'all want, because afraid to have it said that you don't know something. You don't know something, you don't know it. Reach out. Somebody, I know it. I'm never afraid. Gotta get information. Alright? So, Alright? So, look, come on. Up and on. How do I what? Come on, T. This is an hour on. I'm getting ready to take it down. Getting out in a steamy shower and take it down. Now, these women are scared tonight. It's different when men teach who? Nat, Queen D. Teach them the best you can. It starts at home. What are y'all talking about? Oh, I teach my sons that, but I'm a woman. What do you teach them? Nat, what do you teach them? Your boys. Yeah, it's been a rough week in the East. It's been a rough week all over. That's why, I'm here doing what I do, looking the way I look. But yeah, it's been a rough week. Tough week. Phone acting crazy, all that. I told you I was going to get on my pastor shit. Start talking about, I need the new phone fund. Straight up. The way I see y'all giving these claims that's on YouTube, I'm like, no information? I'm like, yo. I'd be ashamed. You dig? How do you get to know a man? How do you get to know anybody? Talking. Watching. That's how. And since you were one of my younger women in here, you'll never know somebody who don't know themselves. You'll never know somebody who don't know themselves. Average person don't. You can be with somebody for years and don't know them. That's just what it is. People don't. You don't know people. You can only operate based on how you operate and how they treat you. How they treat you. You did? Everybody don't tell everything about themselves to anyone. They just don't. They just don't. And that's something that I always stress. Get to know. Oh, I just want to get. We try to get to know him, and you don't never get to. You don't know him. Never get to know him. You dig? It was hard to know that how valuable you are when you haven't been taught that. He was raised by a man, but he taught you how to be a young lady. Okay. Okay. So anything else? Y'all got one more? Y'all one more? Because I'm getting ready to go. I can feel it. I'm getting, you know how you get chilly? You know how your ass so tired, you get chilly? Like, damn, cold back here. It ain't cold, your ass is tired. How can you get a man, so-called thug, to open up to you? His ass might be crazy. I'm gonna keep it honest. Open up to, and do you have the skill set to bring that type of communication out of somebody? That's not just, you just open up and just because you're there. You have to have a skill set for that, you know? But, when you say so-called thug, them niggas is crazy. You're not wrapped too tight. You might be out of luck. Serious, go. You might have to go get some professional help. You did. You might have to go get him some professional help. If it's to that degree where he can't speak to you and open up about what would you like to know? And that's what it is. Sometimes when you're opening that, it's traumatic. It's traumatic. So some men are gonna shut down. Just like when I'm in group sessions, and we're making an attempt to get somebody engaged to speak, to make sure he knows the information that we are building on in class. It's traumatic because now they have to relive, and they're like, man, Well, you can be hopeful, right? You can be more than hopeful, but if you don't have that skill set, ask if he's willing to go get some help, to get some professional assistance. We've been through some heinous shit. And I'm just able to speak on it. But I done been through some shit. Movie type shit on a regular basis and intentionally put myself there. I ain't wrapped too tight. I just know how to respond. Certain things that I find normal, other people will be like, what? I couldn't stomach it. I don't even shrug a shoulder to it. No, that's not right. But again, you may have to get him some help. You dig? Where he will be in a setting where he is trusting someone to speak to it. And the more he speaks about it, the better he'll get. You dig? Bernadette, what do you think about overly independent women? I think they fooling themselves. Ain't nobody independent. Just not. You believe so because of what you are viewing as independence. But take all that shit away that you getting from Whitey, and you see how dependent you really are on the system. You dependent on this shit. So black women believe that. You're not independent, their ass is just alone. That's it. You ain't independent, your ass alone. Because should that very system that you're working for fall apart, what you got? What you got? A lot of people thought they was independent. And again, I'm always go back to recent history. Pandemic shut their ass down. Their ass was panicking. Their ass was living in Airbnbs. Their ass is once high-powered, titled executive somewhere. Now their ass is in Starbucks. All that independent shit went out the window. Because as long as we sitting in these spaces, as long as we don't control our labor, we dependent. I'm dependent on this phone to get to my women folk. I'm dependent on AT&T to make sure, as a service provider with Apple, to function in real time for me to speak to my people. None of us independent. Their asses is alone. That's what they are. That's it. And you accumulating a whole lot of resource for what? To give it right back. That's it. I was watching one of them rappers I just was watching. Or Floyd. It was Floyd buying shit in Louis store. I'm like, damn, you made all these hundreds of millions of dollars to get his shit to another fucking corporation. That shit is stupid. So when I see black women saying, I'm independent, I don't need nobody for nothing. No, your ass is alone. That's what you are. What you're saying is, I don't have a man. And it's cool. You dig? What did I answer that? What did I answer? Ask again. What did I miss? You're saying I still didn't answer. And how many questions did you throw out there? All right? If I missed something, what I missed? Can a woman really raise a man? Yeah. Yeah. Can a man raise a girl? What are we doing? People raise people to be good people. There's going to be questions that as a woman you may not be knowledgeable of. It's like, you know, a man raising a daughter. There's certain things that, you know, in depth, he cannot think as a woman think, but I don't mean he can't raise a daughter. And a woman may not be able to think as a man, but she can raise a boy up. It happens all the time. It happens all the time when you concentrate on just loving the child and raising the child and making sure that they are good, healthy, thinking, and operating people. Because when you say a man, what example do you have? What examples of a man do you have? What's male tendencies, though? When you're saying that, what is male tendencies? What's a male tendency? You need to know that because you have the ability to dismiss other men. What's a male tendency? Dig? Be mindful of putting labels and roles and stuff like that based on gender. Be careful with that. Again, that's inheriting specific beliefs. That's not actual factual. Like I told you, I've seen men, grown ass men, who can't iron their own clothes, who just don't know how to iron. I thought that was very weird. I was ironing clothes since I was 8, 9 years old. I've been cooking since I was 10 years old. I've been going to the laundry by myself since I was 10 years old. I clean house. I clean windows, bathrooms. I do everything. I cook, do everything domestic. Everything. And what is that? I'm not supposed to know how to do that because of my gender? So again, what's a male tendency? All right? Well, I'm glad those who participated in Women Up this evening participated. Definitely thank you for participating. And I don't know, T, did you see a cash app? I don't know. I'll check later. I didn't see one cash app. I think I did see one. I'll see. Um, as soon as I get off with, if you did support and donate, much appreciated. I'm going to do my thing. Your brothers tell you that you raised them to be punk or suckers for women. I understand you completely, much love. Now, it can never be a punk or a sucker for anybody. But people need to realize you're going to be you. And should somebody wrong you, that's not on you. You can't be a sucker for a man or a woman unless you're getting abused. That's one thing. But when they speak like that, people try to make it seem as if being respectful, right? Having some type of etiquette, knowing how to speak to them. If that's being a sucker, then what's the alternative? How was you supposed to raise them? to smack women upside the head with a metal pipe, to be disrespectful. You know? You raise them best of your ability. You dig? No, again, I appreciate y'all coming. Thank y'all for doing what y'all do. Share the vid, grow our tribe, support. Remember, if you need assistance, reach out. Anger management, domestic violence, life coaching, all that. All right? So salute. Much love to my queen comrades. Tomorrow we back at it. Probably be a man up tomorrow. I'll see. We'll figure it out. You dig? Salute.